Welcome to this webinar hosted by Tangent Solutions. The topic for today's webinar is Intelligent Automation for Next Level Supply Chain. Your host today is Adrian Greyvenstein. He is an Intelligent Automation Solutions Specialist. Adrian's role at Tangent Solutions is to drive adoption of emerging technologies such as intelligent automation, IoT, artificial intelligence, and machine learning into organizations. Through understanding the challenges that business face with productivity, accuracy, and customer experience, Adrian advises organizations on the most applicable solutions to their everyday business problems. Feel free to ask questions during the webinar. You can ask questions and interact by making use of the chat sidebar to the right of the video presentation on the screen. There will also be a formal Q&A at the end of the presentation. A link to the webinar recording will be made available at the end of the webinar.
At a time when global supply chains and trade flows are being disrupted by COVID-19 pandemic and demand patterns are changing rapidly, many businesses are looking to inject more agility into their systems and processes. The World Trade Organization anticipates international merchandise trade will fall by between 13% and 32% during 2020, and almost all regions will experience double-digit declines in trade volumes this year. Those industries with complex supply chains, such as electronics, automotive products, will be impacted the most. In this current environment, it's important to ask whether your organization is able to adapt quickly to new ways of working in order to meet evolving rules and tackle new obstacles. Businesses need to start looking into emerging technologies to operate as efficiently as possible, work virtually, and drive agile supply chain management, as well as keep up with competitors when markets eventually begin to pull out of the pandemic. These emerging technologies, such as intelligent process automation, machine learning, IoT, and artificial intelligence, all have a valuable role to play in the current business environment. If implemented properly, these solutions can help companies rapidly adjust processes, collaborate more efficiently with supply chain stakeholders, and ensure that all resources are being used as optimally as possible. With so many enterprise software solutions available today, it can be daunting to choose the most appropriate approach and technology. The challenge is magnified by the fact that many organizations have inflexible enterprise resource planning systems that don't meet all their operational needs. Many departments have developed their own manual processes and spreadsheets to plug system gaps and get critical work done. However, this way of working can be inaccurate, time-consuming, and lack continuity. If your company is in this situation, you don't need to rip out and replace your legacy systems. Rather, you could integrate a combination of modern, readily available technologies into existing systems so that you have the tools to transform processes without losing mission-critical content and functionality. This presentation will provide insights on where you could begin. Introducing intelligent automation. So what is it? Intelligent automation is a combination of robotics process automation and artificial intelligence technologies, which together empower rapid end-to-end business process automation and accelerate digital transformation. Today, modern businesses will need to invest in emerging technologies to make them relevant to ever-changing market demands. Intelligent automation has the potential to change how businesses work from the ground floor to the executive level. Today, we look at how this technology can assist supply chain in achieving long-term success. Current challenges in supply chain industry. Today, supply chain managers are faced with a complex range of business challenges. Limited visibility and traceability across the supply chain. Multiple systems create bottlenecks. Legacy systems are complicated to manage and difficult to integrate. Manual processes slow down delivery on services and products that are not automated. Increased data flows and order volumes affect the supply chain. Considering the above supply chain challenges, businesses are embarking on a digital first approach Successful digital transformation comes from transforming the organization to take advantage of emerging technologies and the value these provide. These initiatives are centered on reimagining customer experience, operational processes, and business operating models. The rise of IA in supply chain. Let's look at the different levels of RPA, intelligent automation adoption. No automation. Businesses have not yet looked into their technology and still run on manual processes. In most cases, these businesses need to be educated on how the technology works and begin engagement by looking at process candidates. The next level would be basic automation. Business has started to look into the technology and identified a couple of processes candidates. Most are busy with POC, pilots, and feasibility exercises for the technology. Intermediate automation. Process opportunity pipeline has been developed, mapped, and prioritized, and have a few simple processes being run in a robot environment. Full automation. Business has a mature RPA model and is increasing robot capacity by adding processes into the environment regularly. Balancing artificial intelligence and human skills. Artificial intelligence mimics human cognitive capabilities, such as learning and understanding natural language. By incorporating AI into your robotics process environment, it's possible to digitize a much wider range of tasks. This means you can free skilled professionals from repetitive, time-intensive tasks that prevent them from focusing on more strategic work. Many companies believe they're digitally transforming processes through user experiences such as mobile applications, websites, and voice assistants at the front end. However, if these then rely on manual processes in the back office, such as rekeying in data into spreadsheets, systems, or sharing content over email, these processes aren't as seamless and agile as they could be for our rapidly changing environment. A range of AI capabilities are now more accessible, and these include machine learning, a subset of artificial intelligence that enables systems to learn from experience, identify patterns, and make predictions without being explicitly programmed to do so. Optical character recognition, an artificial intelligence category that enables RPA software robots to extract meaning from unstructured content such as scanned documents and photos. Natural language processing, the ability to understand and synthesize natural language communications, both in text and voice-based. While IA can deliver a wide range of business benefits, it can never fully replace humans across your operations. Human skills such as empathy, strategic thinking, creativity, and subject matter expertise still have a critical role to play along the supply chain. The ideal scenario is one where AI and human intelligence support and augment each other. The impact of intelligent automation on supply chain. According to a recent International Data Corporation digital economy model, by 2023, over 50% of all worldwide nominal gross domestic product will be driven by digitally transformed enterprises. And by 2025, at least 90% of new enterprise apps will have embedded AI capabilities. Current process impacts. High cost due to high resource requirements, typically completed in days or hours, increased error rate, impact on compliance due to manual involvement, resources focused on low-value tasks. RPA-enabled processes, reduction in cost of completing process, now completed in minutes to seconds, zero error rate, flexible and highly scalable solutions, processes are compliant due to automation, resources focused on high-value complex tasks. Why does intelligent automation matter? RPA allows supply chains to scale up faster in order to meet supply chain requirements as demand increases. It thus becomes crucial for employees to rather spend their time on customer-centric business processes that require creativity, judgment-based decisions, and knowledge application. Increased business value. Supply chain stakeholders can adapt to demand and scale up operations more quickly due to automated processes. Cost reduction. Organizations can reduce administrative overhead, resulting in lower staff costs. Better use of scarce resources. Businesses in supply chain can shift their staff away from low-value, repeatable tasks towards value-added activities that generate revenue and drive other improvements. High-quality output. RPA can eliminate human error and duplication in supply chain, resulting in less rework, higher quality outputs, and more streamlined processes. Increased efficiency. Retailers can get stock delivered faster due to early identification of inventory needs that translates into timely purchase orders. As intelligent automation applications set new standards of quality, efficiency, speed, and functionality, companies that successfully employ it may surpass competitors that do not. If companies take full advantage of intelligent automation, the overall impact on the business could rival that of the enterprise resource planning wave of 1990s. Now, let's look at processes suitable for automation in supply chain. Purchase order placement and processing typically consist of 3 phases: product selection, payment processing, order confirmation. However, to date, there are still businesses that rely on manual paperwork to process transactions which can be digitized. Now, RPA has the capability to assist in this process. Order processing and payments can be automated by importing the relevant information into the company database, where payment gateways can process the desired amount and email confirmations triggered upon the placement of an order. I would now like to show you a video of one of our robots completing purchase order processing. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Annie. Today, I'm going to show you how I process purchase order-based invoices in SAP. This accounts payable process takes the average employee or clerk approximately 5 to 10 minutes to complete. It involves capturing data from PDF invoices and processing this data in SAP, which can be a very repetitive and boring process. With me at the helm, this process is done within an average of 75 seconds. That's up to 8 times faster. I start by scanning unread emails for supplier domains. Once I've identified that they've sent an invoice, I save the invoice into a predefined location. From here, I scan the invoice for all the data I need using OCR technology. Then, I log into SAP either locally or via VPN and navigate to the display purchase order page. I extract the company code that relates to the purchase order. From here, I navigate to the Enter Incoming Invoice page and enter the company code that I just extracted. Now, I can populate the invoice data that I extracted before. Next, I enter the purchase order number relating to the invoice to display the purchase order for this invoice. Thereafter, I can check what type of VAT was applied to the purchase order and adjust the tax type on the invoice to match it. After all this, I simulate the document in the document's currency and check that the debit versus credit balance is 0 and post the invoice. This generates a document number that I extract and store in memory. Lastly, to upload the PDF, I go to the Display Invoice Document tab and enter the extracted document number along with the year of the invoice. I then go to the Store Business Document page by clicking Services and create. Finally, I choose PO-based invoice and upload the PDF. And done. I do this for a multitude of invoices. Pretty repetitive, right? I don't take coffee breaks, I don't sleep in, and I can work 24 hours, 7 days a week with no errors, leaving more time for employees to focus on more important and non-repetitive work. Invoice processing just became a whole lot easier.
Now let's look at email automation. A large section of any supply chain is maintaining proper communication with suppliers, manufacturers, transport service agencies, and customers. However, even though concise and effective communication plays an important role, there is often a major need for improvement. RPA improves communication and collaboration. To ensure proper collaboration between staff in different departments, RPA can be used to automate this communication process by triggering emails and text messages when a specific event occurs. Let's look at another video that incorporates various office tasks that can be done via RPA.
Hi, my name is Orwell, and I am an automated office assistant developed by Tangent Solutions and their newest member of staff. My capabilities range from making bookings, extracting and processing documents and data, sending emails, and a whole host of other cool things that save both valuable time and money. Today, I will walk you through one of the many tasks I do for my company, namely gathering information about available flights on the internet. Planning and booking flights used to involve having someone manually look them up. This was not only time-consuming, but often resulted in higher than necessary traveling costs, as not all possible options were considered. Now, I do the research for them and provide a comprehensive list of travel options, including travel times, prices, and a link to every deal. Let me show you how I do it. I regularly check my emails, and if I find one requesting flight travel options, I first check to see if all the information is correct. If something is missing, I can email the sender and request more information. This request form looks complete. Taking this information, I open various websites to start my search. I fill in all the required fields like one way or return, from and to where we are flying, the date, etc. Now I'll begin scraping the web page for the required information like departure and arrival times, price, and finally the link to the deal. I do this for a few websites to make sure I have all the available flights. I sort the data and compile it into a document. I then email it to the person that made the request. And just like that, all the information required to book a flight is provided. This is just one of the many things I do to help my company out. I can also gather news articles and feeds, help in multiple HR and recruitment processes like on and offboarding employees, invoice processing and report extraction, data analysis and analytics, and many more tasks that does not require too much human thinking. When it comes to robotic process automation, the possibilities are quite endless. Let me give you an example. Let's see how I match up against Sarah as we process invoices. It takes Sarah around 7.5 minutes to process an invoice, while I only take 75 seconds. This means that while I work, Sarah can process a total of 64 invoices, while I do 384. But the real benefit comes in when we take the whole day into account. Sarah still only processes 64 invoices, but I can do over 1,000 because I don't tire easily. That's 18 times more than what Sarah can do, allowing her to spend more of her time on other value-adding activities. Contact Tangent Solutions and enter the fourth industrial revolution by automating your workplace.
Now we're going to look at two more supply chain processes, one of which is RPA for inventory management. Suppliers and manufacturers need to be aware of inventory levels to ensure that products are available to meet demands. This is how RPA can manage inventory. RPA can be implemented for inventory management in the following way: monitoring inventory levels, sending notifications to managers when product stock levels are low, automatically reorder products below the predefined threshold level, and additionally, RPA can assist in the prediction of optimal inventory levels by considering the historical data and mapping out demand patterns. Now let's look at the second supply chain process, supply and demand planning. Before automation, supply and demand planning has typically been a challenging task that requires data collection, data formatting, exception analysis, and communication of established plan. This is where RPA can help. RPA, including machine learning and artificial intelligence, can assist organizations in demand predictions and preparation against unexpected spikes in demand. Using automation, many of these tasks, organizations can eliminate the possibility of manual errors and make operations efficient, self-driven, and intelligent. In conclusion, how can we make automation a priority? Supply chain, which has been burdened by manual process and tedious tasks for years, can now turn the majority of the grunt work over to a digital workforce. With RPA, supply chains can attain enhanced cycle times and agility, increased capacity and asset efficiency, improved receivables, and high levels of supplier, customer, and employee satisfaction. But in addition to recognizing these benefits, it's also important to acknowledge the foresight that is needed in order to leverage automation successfully at scale. We have come to the end of this webinar. Thank you for listening. I hope that you found it insightful.
We will now give some time for you to ask any other questions that you might have. Please make use of the chat sidebar to the right of the video presentation on the screen to ask your questions. Any questions not answered during the presentation will be recorded, collated, and answered in due course. You will receive an email with the answer to your question. Thank you for your participation in this webinar, and we hope to see you in the next one.